Alright you guys, here's an update to the house. We're going to actually start with the back of the home, even though it kind of looks like we're looking at the front of the home. Let's take a look at some of this detail. These wrought iron looking lights, the stained glass look. This just got finished off really nicely. We come down here, we're going to actually take a look at what the house is sitting on. I did a mock-up of these brick walls. It's going to really be white, not the gray you see to match the house. The white will be, but mostly this I had to chisel out the bottom there so I could get the wiring, or some of the wiring, to be hidden behind the structure. But let's start here and take a look inside these doors. And look at the railing. Oh, that black and white checkered floor. There's our stairs. And there is our front door right there. And these newel posts, part of that railing. It turned out really nice. But in keeping with the house, this comes out. And let's go ahead and stick that there for now. And close these two doors, and we will move this piece out of the way and put it over here so that we can take a look at this room. There's a radiator. It's not hooked up. It's kind of mostly there to remind me that I need to add some more to the room. But if we look inside this room, you will see the detail that's in there as far as the paneling. We're going to add some chairs here, make it like a little sitting area. There's more detail to that staircase that we have got there. Look at how nice that turned out. Our railing, I keep talking about that railing. I just think that turned out so nicely. Mostly because my wife didn't like the other one. She talked quite a bit about the newel posts before, but we'll get to that in a second when we come around the front of the home. There's our little flowers. We got some flowers there, in keeping with my odd way of building a home. Flowers, not a wall. And let's actually go to the front of the house here. The staircase, just check that out. Oh, that turned out nicely. Let's take a look underneath here. Let's see if we can take a look at that ceiling underneath there and the detail of that. That turned out really nice. Actually, let's take care of this while we're back here. If you look at the staircase coming down, and actually if you remember the old staircase and the pitch, it had a different pitch to it. It wasn't as steep as this is, and but structurally I couldn't get the old one to fit and still use the space wisely. It had some structure issues, and this one is just so much better in the detail. But it seems how we're back here, you see there's a little staircase there, and it comes to this area where you can look over the banister and look at the front entryway, and oh, look at that. We have got, there's our front doors. Those turned out really nicely. Old homes, they had a lot of these little sofa things, generally red velour, padding that you sat on there. You got some matching lamps. These radiators are a new design. Two up there. There's one there with some matching lamps as well. Again, with these sofas that we'll kind of take a look at when we go to the front of the home. But these turned out quite nice. We have our tapestry or a rug, which is what they hung off walls a lot back in that time. So this, we stole Aladdin's, and that's what we're using for this rug when we walk in the home. And this table, I just think that turned out so nicely. If you remember the front entryway before, it had just that little Lego thing in the middle of the room. And I think the table traded out as a much, much better trade. The flowers, you got those smooth tiles, I guess you call them macaroni shaped. That just turned out really nicely. I think a smooth tile just finishes things off so nicely, because if you look at this room and you take a look at that table, it's half finished. I just need to get the other pieces. But you look at that table versus this one, and it just is finished so much nicer. But in keeping with staying back here for now, let's take a look at this bathroom. And it's almost finished. I gotta add those lights back in around the mirror, but look at the arches everywhere in there. Those just turned out so nice. We've got our arches for the door, the arch there where the radiator rests, so it's set back just enough to keep it out of the way. Our door, we'll go ahead and kind of close it so you can see that arch. Oh, that just turned out so nice. And then this arched ceiling. And look at those lights. We will come back to those lights when I turn the lights out in this room. But if you look at that, look at how thin that is. That arched ceiling allowed me to make a nice thin floor, which is what I just showed you. And so this little space right here turned out to be a surprise. It wasn't planned. And I'm not sure how it's going to affect things as I progress through the house, but I guess only time will tell. So let's walk to the front of the home where we will check out our entryway. And here she is. This turned out really, really nice. If you remember the other entryway, here we got brass kick plate, the detail there, our stained glass. Much, much better over the previous entryway. And here's our doorbell. If you think doorbells back then were like what we have now, which are push-button electric ones, that's not how things were, especially in a big fancy house like this. Think of the movie Clue. You go up there and you pull this big chain and it'd ring a bell and butler would come. So let's actually go take a look at our bell, because that is it right there. That's our bell that rings. I've committed another crime. It's the second non-Lego piece. So actually technically maybe the third, because the lights are non-Lego as well. But if you remember the mirror here in the dining room, non-Lego. Alright, I try to be a purist, but there are certain things Lego just isn't making. And so the bell, it's got some tension there with the spring. We come around here and our little fingers pull down and there we go. Okay, so let's go back to the front of the house. Actually, let's stop right here and take a look here. This is, if you remember in the last video, I mentioned how I didn't like this part of the home because when I first started building this house, it looked really great. It looked beautiful. But as things got more and more done and nicer, this was out of place. So, tore it down, created a breeze for these guys, and trying to figure out what to do. If I should make that bigger patio, bring it over there, I don't know, make that a door, I don't know what I'm doing. So, trying to figure that out. Anyway, we're going to come back to this front door. And we're going to come through the front door and just look at that. That looks so good. That table. Yep. Alright. But in keeping, we want to be able to see in this house. Once this roof gets put on, we want to be able to see in there a lot better than that. So here we go. And as much as I keep this house covered, and even though it is in a room that is all closed off, it still gets dusty. Here we go. Look at the arches. And if we look all the way over there, yes, fellows, there is the red mansion. Oh, you know what? And we need to put this wall back up. Right there. Yes. Because that is the wall out back. And look at how it finishes that off. But let's take a look at our newel posts. Now, if you remember the newel posts from all the other videos, they were this big, like raptor dragon type thing. My wife thought those were the silliest looking newel posts. I thought they were cool, but these are much more in keeping with how the house should look. Not sure about the Lego guy. I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep him, but I'm undecided if I want to use this little light right there. This part of it. But oh yeah, this is my junk pile stuff that's been ripped out of the house that should be put back in there. Anyway, you see the little smooth tile that's sitting on top of the round? That, along with that elbow, are the reasons I took so long to get a video going. Because if you look here, I do not like, this is an elbow, but I have to use a 2 smooth and a 1 smooth, and it leaves this line that I don't like because it doesn't line up with anything else on that side and on that side. Anyway, Lego has come out with this elbow right there, and there is not a seam, and I waited for that as well as that, and I was not going to make a video until I had those, and ordered them before Christmas, and they took a long time to get here. But they're in. And I just need to replace those. Here, let's put our front door back in so that we can see how pretty that is. All right. Okay, we go up our stairs, and there's more couches. Oh, see, like I had. That finishes that off so much nicer. The detail on that. Our railing. Those couches, they are not fastened down yet. They will be. Made the matching chairs right there. They were supposed to go underneath that space down there. They're way too big, so they're just sitting in that room. They don't belong in that room. They're too big in that room too. The only thing that got finished in this room was the fireplace, and actually more specifically the mantle, and we got some flames in there now. That's about it there. But the biggest, so and here's the front of this bathroom. This bathroom is right there, and there's that great looking arch. That's where that piece is. The bathroom over here, it's going to look the same way. Someday we'll get that room going. The only thing, nothing's changed over here. I have this piece here to remind me to fix something in that room. Nothing. The only thing that's changed here is I got a little radiator in there. We didn't have one in there before. And I guess we're going to come to our library where nothing has changed out here on the outside of the home. But a lot has changed on the inside of the home, where we have our staircase. And look at how that turned out. That turned out really nice. So if you look at, we start there, You can see there's a window that this staircase looks through as you spiral up. And if you really look at this, as we come along here and we look at the front of the home, let's put this back in here. You can almost see that staircase come right in front of those windows. Okay, so there we are with that staircase. We spiral up, we come through there, up and over, and the staircase itself is not meant to be very big. It's not meant to be big and flashy like that staircase, or even this second staircase. It's meant to be obviously flashy in a way, but not big. It's just meant to get you up to the next floor. And these libraries, a second story library is not very big. A minifigure can barely get through there. But if you look at this column right here, that's meant to represent the wall, and then the future books. They're going to go all the way around this library. Yeah, there's a lot of work. Radiators just sit in the middle of the room. All right, we're going to have lights going up and underneath the floor. It's going to light things up so nicely. Going to have a big chandelier hanging down there. Going to have books going all the way around. The windows are kind of a two-story, so you can see how we're going to be going out these windows. And then you can see in the staircase a little bit there. That window is non-removable. It's just mostly to kind of help you see inside. All right. Here, let's put this wall back in. And here, let's come around and take a look at this staircase as we come around over here. There's a different angle on it. Let's see. Okay. We're going to turn off our lights. And we're going to take a look at the lights in the house. And we are going to start here in the back. Take a look at that. Just a faint glow coming through those beautiful lights. I mean, beautiful lights, beautiful windows. Okay. And there we go. You can even see that detail on the inside. That's just like on the outside. Let's come over here to this bathroom now that we're in the dark. That lights that up very nicely. Should we take a look at it with the door closed? There we go. Okay, let's come around to the front of the home. Alright, we're going to start with this staircase that's in the library. There's just a faint glow in there. And that's from the light that's right there. And if we come around the house, you can see it in there. Look at that, light that up so nicely. Now that the camera adjusts even better, look at that. And let's look at the parlor. Now, I totally forgot that I had put the lighting in here until I was getting ready to set this video up, and I'm like, oh man, look at that. That looks really good. And in fact, you can even see it through the front window. Of course, we're going to have a lot more lighting in that room. And then let's take a look at this other side of the library. Just right underneath the stairs. And this piece is right above where the globe is. And originally I had a clock. Part of this green was a clock, but with the staircase coming up the way it ended up coming up, kind of made it so it was a little difficult to see, and I kind of felt it was pointless. So I just left this green look, and once you get those lights going in there, it's going to just be hopefully kind of like that. Not so focused, but just a nice soft glow. Alright, I think that covers everything that I wanted to cover. There's the inside of that bathroom. Alright, you guys, one thing I did want to say is I do read your comments. I don't respond. Maybe that makes me a bad YouTuber. I'm not sure. But I do read them, and that's where I felt, okay, maybe I need to hurry up and get a video done so you guys have something to chew on. Hopefully I can get something done in the meantime, where I have some stuff to bring as far as the next video. But when we start moving into the summertime, which of course we still have some time for that, but alright you guys, thank you.